everybody, I am Joe Tobias in Washington State, a little bit of photographer based in Seattle. And this winter, I had the opportunity to get out of Seattle for a few days with my family and another family who before leaving, we quarantined, we got tested. So we knew we were gonna have a safe time, that we could go down to the Oregon coast for a week. And with that, obviously, I spent a lot of time with these friends and family and stuff. But I had a couple of moments where I got to sneak away and take some photos and stuff, and so I just thought I'd make a kind of a vlog video and look back on the images that I took on that trip and a little bit of my mindset as I was making them. So the first photos that I was taking on that trip was at Cape Kiwanda, which if you watched my video on the Kodak Duoflex 2, that's all, these photos were in the same place and stuff, but I also had my Mamiya 6 with me, and it was fun just to make photos and stuff on that day and to get out and to enjoy the sunshine. It was interesting to be at Cape Kiwanda. I didn't find the spot where the duck rock used to be before those ding-dongs knocked it down, but I didn't find it back in the day. But it's fun just to have one of those places that's kind of iconic in the Northwest and to finally get to experience it and see it. I do really like this photo of this rock here that I took on the Mamiya 6, just because I think that the way the light came through was really nice, and it really accentuates what the Mamiya 6 does so well, which is those bright photos, and especially when I have a much stopped down aperture, it just really shines, and I just really like this photo. So the next morning, because it was so nice and I knew that bad weather was rolling in, I got up before sunrise and headed back to Cape Kiwanda in order to watch the sunrise and photograph it and stuff. And because I was there so early, obviously the film cameras weren't quite ready to be used yet, just because I was, even with 400 film and stuff, it was going to be struggling, especially to hold it handhold, and I didn't want to deal with the tripod. So I was shooting digital a lot, and honestly, it was kind of fun to look back on these photos. I know a lot of this channel is about film photography, and it gives me so much joy to do them, but it's kind of fun to look back on these photos and be like, oh yeah, the most popular type of photography in the world is popular for a reason, because these photos they're not half bad. It was just so easy to make photos that morning of the cotton candy sky and enjoying the views, looking out over the ocean and all the different rock formations and the different ways that it all was coming together and playing together. And it was interesting to just have the one sea stack out there, and the way that compositionally was a challenging element for me to work with and for me to guide the way that I was trying to make the photos. Just because it's hard to have a thing to focus on, but it also is really nice to have a thing to focus on. So sometimes you over focus on it, you under focus on it. I don't know, just it's a good practicing element to find the balance between all of those things. And it was also really fun to see the surfers coming rolling through, because it was the way the spot that I'd gotten to was basically right above the break, and so I could see them just catching the wave right below me, which was really neat to see. And there were eagles flying around. It was just one of those magical mornings to be out making photos. After I finished with those photos out on the Cape, there were a couple old A-frames that I noticed right in the town there. And so I went to photograph those. And I don't know what it really is with these photos with my Mamiya 6, but they just don't they just didn't turn out. And I think that this is going to be a common theme really throughout the winter, in that there's something about the Mamiya 6 that it just doesn't love winter light. It doesn't love not being out on really bright, sunny days where I can stop it down and really counterbalance that while maintaining the brightness. Because a lot of those photos, especially the film ones here, it just feels like those shadows are still muddy. And I don't know if I could, if I should be overexposing them more but I'm afraid I'd lose a little bit, not like, I just lose a little bit in the highlights. So I don't know, I still have a little bit of learning to do with that particular camera, and especially to use it in the winter. But of course it's been in the shop for most of this winter, so it's almost summertime and I get to use it again, which does make me excited. Over the next few days, the rains really rolled back in, and it was not the bright and sunny time. So, I mean, it was raining, so we played inside, we played in the hot tub, and I went running in the rain. And whenever we go out, it was like full rain jackets, put the kids in rain suits and stuff, and trying to find stuff. But that didn't stop us because we're at the beach, so we're still gonna go to the beach. So we're heading down and trying to take some photos and stuff of the neighborhood, and I just enjoyed this process and stuff and seeing that. This is definitely though where I did discover that there is something off with my Leica for sure. And my Leica has also gone to the shop because of this thing. And you can see those photos there where it is these two photos are stacking on top of each other, and there was something that the film just wasn't advancing. And so I've sent it off and it got in the CLA, and I've shot a couple rolls since then. It seems like it's working normally now that it's been fixed. So I'm really excited to have that back and start shooting again. So like, I don't know, it's gonna be a good summer of photos because my two favorite cameras are gonna be home. But after shooting the black and whites in the Leica, I put in some Superior 200, which honestly, I freaking love the way that the colors turned out with this particular camera on this day. It does feel like this particular film does really well in those muted lights, and really has some bold greens, which I don't know, people always talk about it being like made for Japan, and I don't know, I haven't been to Japan yet, so maybe that really comes through. But playing in the sea foam here and walking around on the beach, honestly, I feel like the photos from the Leica almost turned out better than the ones from the Mamiya, which usually I would not expect. Like that medium format camera is just so much more detailed and so rich and powerful. But there's something in it that it just wasn't singing quite right. And it's what I'm saying is like, I still haven't figured it out. It might be something in the shadows that turn out magenta. I don't know, I've got a million theories in here, and I have rescanned these so many times. So I don't know. I'm not here with the answers yet. And when I do, I'll probably make a video about it. But those photos just, they are what they are. But that said, it still is always fun to be out and to make photos in a way that, at least while you're creating them, feel like you're testing yourself. You're testing your compositional skills. You're testing your abilities, and the ability to storytell about your family within it all was a really fun little experience. But like I said, it rained a lot. So every time we got out, we'd ended up back in the car, hiding from the rain. And I also broke the film once because I was being stupid. And so, yeah. But look at those superior colors. They just look so bold and so rich, and looks so fun. My last big photo excursion was, I think it was the last full day we were in the area, and we got a little bit of a break in the weather, so it was still overcast and still cloudy, but I wanted to get out and go take some photos. And so I was driving around trying to find both some beach areas and some woodsy areas to go take photos, and I actually saw a cougar, which was crazy because I don't know, mountain lions, cougars, mountain lions, basically the same thing, but I've never seen one in person, and oh my gosh, they are impressive. I mean, it's a lion living in the woods in the Northwest, and it's just was so powerful as it ran across the trail in front of me. But it's just fun to be out in the woods and make photos and to remember that day. Again, I feel like so many of these photos just aren't coming through quite like I want to in the shadows, and I don't know if it's that I'm exposing too shallow. I should have been pushing it. I should have been using a tripod to expose for longer. Any of those kind of things. It just didn't work, and I don't know, I'm kind of bummed about those because it felt like compositionally there's a lot of stuff that I did find really interesting with those photos, with the way that the lines came together, with S-curves, with pulling through the square frame, but they just kind of flopped. And that's how it goes. I don't know. I think that there are some gems from this trip, and I am really excited about a couple photos. And I'm gonna end the video here at the end with a few of my absolute favorites from it. But yeah, it was a good learning experience of like the balance of expectation with results, and knowing that you can't necessarily mesh those two things together, and that sometimes you get stuff that's better than you expect, and sometimes you get stuff that's exactly what you expect, and sometimes it's not, doesn't quite live up. But being able to just step back and analyze those kind of things and say like, why is this not living up to expectations, or the opposite, why is it exceeding expectations, is a really good creative process, in that it helps me, especially during kind of my off season when I'm not getting paid for these kind of photos, but to learn from it. So when it does come back to weddings and elopement season, I've taken those learnings, those understandings and stuff, that way that I've pushed myself over the course of the winter, and I can apply it to the new wedding season. I'm gonna just finish off with, like I said, a few of my favorites from this trip, and thanks for watching. See you around.